of opportunities to get discouraged, to lose your passion, and think that it's not meant to be. But if you're going to reach your destiny, you have to have a made-up mind. If you give up after the first time, or the 5th time, or the 30th time, what that really means is you didn't want it bad enough. There should be something you're believing for that you are relentless. You are not moved by how impossible it looks. You're not discouraged by how long it's taking. You don't give up because people told you no. Your attitude is, if I have to believe my whole life, I'm not going to stop believing. I am not going to take no for an answer. I'm not going to settle for mediocrity. I'm going to keep pursuing what God put in my heart.
Desire is the starting point of all change. The most important question that you have to ask yourself in life is, how badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it.
Success doesn't come to the most intelligent or the most talented. Success comes to those who are the most hungry for it.
If you quit, it's really easy to predict your future. How's that feel? But if you don't quit, if you go for it with no proof, you can't quantify it. People are going to call you crazy. Your friends are going to look at you sideways. But you'll have the opportunity to play in the game and stop sitting on the sidelines. And you might fail for a while. And you might have to pay your success tax. And you might have to go through 7 failures, 9 failures, 12 failures. You might be sleepless at night wondering why the heck you're doing it. But on the other side of that, you get to see who you're meant to be, who God designed you to be, and tap into your full potential, and there's nothing better.
You have to want something so big that it wakes you up in the middle of the night. You have to want something so big that you think about it all the time. You have to want something so big that it drives you to wake up when you don't want to. It keeps you up at night when you long been sleepy. It makes you show up, do things you wouldn't normally do. It requires extra. If you want to be extraordinary and not ordinary, if you want to be ordinary, live your life. But if you want to be extraordinary, you have to be extra. If you put extra on top of ordinary, that word is extraordinary.
When you have a made-up mind, when you decide that you want to do something, I was reading something the other day, he said the power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, this is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds.
But if you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'll repeat that. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
There's an interesting story was told about Socrates, and Socrates was talking to one of his students, and the student said, I am hungry for knowledge. What can I do to increase my knowledge? And Socrates said, knowledge is something that is readily available and easy to get if you want it bad enough. He said, I'm sure I want it badly enough. And Socrates said, come with me, and he walked him offshore into the ocean, and walked him offshore into the Aegean Sea. And I got about 3 or 4 feet, and Socrates, a very, very strong man, grabbed the young man and put his head under the water. And the young man began to struggle, and finally became incredibly frantic, and finally brought him up. And he said, now what did you want while you were under the water? And he said, all I wanted was air. He said, all I could think of in the whole world was air. He said, when you want knowledge with the same intensity that you wanted that oxygen, you will get all the knowledge that you could desire. And when you want anything with great intensity, if you have the desire, you'll get it.
Who's the person that you care about the most in this world? Name me one.
My mom.
Yeah. So if someone came and took your mom and put her on a cloud in the sky, and the only way that you could see her again is if you built a tower high enough to be able to bring her back down, or to be with her again? Would you wake up tomorrow and wonder why you? Would you get building?
The thing about it that people don't realize is that they're so much closer to that breakthrough than they realize. You're so much closer to that body that they want than they realize. You're so much closer to that business that they want than they realize. But they're like, I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm barely getting to where I want to be. Just keep going. One of the beautiful things about life is that most people start, but most people give up too soon. Why is that beautiful? Because it shows you if you just don't stop, you'll eventually get to where you want to go. You'll eventually get to the place that you want to be.
The first thing you have to do is you have to realize that you have to want to get out of it, and you have to want it badly enough. So you got to figure out a path out of this trap that you're in. And it is a trap because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it becomes a habit and it's going to stay with you your whole life. So every time there isn't a paycheck, you're going to freak out, you're going to go get the quickest, easiest job that you can get. You have to break out of that.
I want to introduce y'all to this very simple concept. That if you want it, you gotta go get it.